Good stuff.
Yeah.
We got to get up out of this part of the show. Like, let's. Last night, big night for hockey. Big night for the white folks. It was Canadian folks versus the USA. We had the Four Nations Cup, which was the NHL All-Star format. PK Subban came on and talked to Stephen A. Smith before the Four Nations tournament to talk about the difference between basketball All-Star games and NHL All-Star games. And he kind of threw some shade, little ricochets at LeBron James, saying, hey, NBA players making all this money, they should play hurt. They should figure out a way to play in front of these exhibition crowds because they're paying a lot of money. So, Mo, I wanted to kind of ask you first, why does everyone blame everything that's wrong about the NBA on LeBron?
It's pretty simple. He's the most successful person, and I think just some of the stuff that he's doing or has done has never been done before. You have to figure, man, since 18 years old, I can remember walking across campus and for hearing him first talk to me about his $90 million contract with Nike. And I'm 41 right now, and this man is still playing in the NBA, still making gargantuan amounts of money. And his kids are in the NBA, and he's done stuff for himself, for his friends, that I'm pretty sure people envy. People have criticism that it doesn't remind them of what they've come from, but he's just the easy guy to blame. And I don't have anything negative to say about the hockey guy. I looked him up, and he seems to be a respectful player. But one thing I will say is this, that everybody sees the world. Their comments come from how they see the world. I don't think LeBron is playing or sort of leading the track of wanting to be a superstar NBA player anymore. LeBron functions more as an owner and something that's outside of what we normally see. All of his business moves, him wanting to get his sons to the NBA, so on and so forth. And so the guy's correcting what he's saying, but also how LeBron moves, even when he takes the picture in his street clothes. He's basically saying, like, right now, I do whatever the fuck I want to do. And everybody on that platform, Mase and Cam, we've all been in environments like that. Whatever platform is say, right now I'm doing what I want to do, but he's just doing it with the NBA.
What do you think, Mase? Do you think it's unfair that it feels like, okay, we blame the dunk contest being whack on LeBron, we blame super teams on LeBron, we blame the All-Star game as a whole being whack on LeBron? Is this unfair?
I don't think you get to say something is unfair when it comes to being a king. When you're the king, you win, you get the spoils, and when it's not going well, you have to shoulder the blame. I think it's impossible to be the king without taking the ownership. Like, there's something that we were taught, like when I first started like studying about my faith, right? They tell you that you're responsible however it goes. If it goes right, you're responsible, and if it goes wrong, you're responsible. As a man, you don't get to be a man and not be responsible. So definitely when it comes to being a king, you're responsible.
First of all, I watched that game. Yo, I might start watching hockey. That shit was dope. Yo, that shit was really fucking dope. I don't know if it was because it was country versus country or whatever, but I was intense pause in the house watching that shit. I'm like, yo, this is fucking lit. Like, I became probably a tennis fan maybe 8 years ago, like 9 years. Like, you watch tennis. Tennis is a fucking dope ass sport. Tennis, it's almost like boxing or swimming. I'm not saying as far as physical damage you may get, but you can't depend on anybody. And it's a skillful sport. You can hit it, pause 100 miles per hour, 120 miles per hour on the serve, soft pause. It's a lot of different things that go in tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And hockey last night, I think the reason I never really watched hockey is because you got to find a puck in they need to figure out something to put in that puck to where you know where it's at if you're watching from home. And I think that's kind of the reason. I'm like, I don't know where this shit is at. Kind of when you're watching football and they give you that yellow line so you know where the first down is at. Mm-hmm. Probably the last 10, 11, 12 years or however long they've been putting out television. They need to figure out for hockey. But the game was fucking spectacular. The atmosphere was spectacular. And you have people in there representing their country. I think that was bigger than a city to city. Of course it is bigger than city to city thing. But more of the story is I watch hockey highlights. But for me to watch 3 quarters, I missed the overtime. I see Canada won in the overtime. But for me to watch 3 quarters of hockey, That was big time for me. And I think I'm going to start paying attention to more big hockey games. Back to the original topic as far as people blaming LeBron for things. Y'all have somebody to blame, right? You're going to figure out who we going to blame. You got to put something on people and then figuring this LeBron. Mo made a great point. If you've been doing this long, right, as long as LeBron, and he's lived up past expectation. That's the thing about it is that it's one thing to meet expectation. It's another thing to pass it, and it's another thing to come short of it. How many people have we seen come short of expectation in the NBA? Yeah. Number one picks, people that you thought was going to be superstars, things that didn't pan out. He surpassed expectation to the point where he's so good. And not saying his son isn't good, but his son is in the league because that's how good he is. It's up to Brian to do his job from there. But yeah, you're going to blame people. Like I said, my only problem with LeBron the other day was just like, damn, you could have let them know a little earlier so somebody else could have filled the spot. We get it. You've been here 21 years. You don't give a fuck. And I don't think that you don't give a fuck. I think it's more about the, look, if we ain't going to do this the old traditional way, I don't want to do it. I don't give a fuck. I've been here doing this 20-something years. I looked at a stat the other day. LeBron James has more playoff points than 7 different NBA franchises. Do you hear that? LeBron James has more playoff points than 7 different NBA franchises. That's incredible. And the Knicks are one of them, actually, because we was calling sin when we found out about the highlight. For LeBron James to have more playoff points than the Knicks as a franchise, in the playoffs, that is fucking ridiculous. We got to stop doing this to LeBron, and because we're still doing it, because he's still playing so well, you put a lot of onus on him, like, oh, he ain't doing this. The nigga's 40. Who doing this at 40? Get a nigga a fucking break. Get a nigga a fucking break, bro. And I get what Mase is saying, too. I'm not ignoring what Mase is saying. Mase is saying, look, and that's for all of us. And once you're in the spotlight, you're open to criticism. That's just the way it fucking goes. Yeah. You're open to criticism. But anybody else, you've been calling a senior citizen. He's old. Yeah. What is he doing out there? This, that, and the third. Every time LeBron makes his layup, it's a new 40-year-old stat. Oh, the first 40-year-old player to do this. First 40-year-old player to do that. 40-year-old player. LeBron was just number 1 on ESPN top 10 highlights. And it was well-deserved. Down the line, LeBron is doing amazing shit at his age. And for y'all to keep blaming him for a dunk contest, keep blaming him for an All-Star game, whatever, bro. He ain't been doing the dunk contest. Y'all had 20 years to figure that shit out, and you're still blaming LeBron. 10, 12 years later, Stephen A's my man, and he's saying LeBron single-handedly messed the NBA dunk contest up. Okay, Stephen A, I get it, and you're my bro. Of course, you know I love you. But they had mad years to figure this out after LeBron didn't do it. Michael Jordan and Dominique, they had 2 back-to-back dunk contests, maybe 3. Michael Jordan may have won 3. I'm thinking of 2. I don't know if it's more than 2. But he ain't win 10. He ain't win 5. He ain't win 8. He won 2, 3 great dunk contests, and that was that. So after LeBron didn't do it the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, the NBA should have figured out, hey, there you go. The NBA should have figured out something else or somebody else to go ahead and do it. And what they're saying is that people followed LeBron, so they wanted to do it. LeBron didn't want to follow Mike. He wanted to create his own path. Y'all got to stop blaming LeBron for shit and put this on the onus of how kids are being raised, social media, their parents, the lackluster hustle, and not like definitely lackluster hustle, but the want, the it factor to say, nah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Fuck that. Stop blaming LeBron for everything. I can't, it's not right. But Mase is right. When you're the king, you're open to criticism. But goddamn, he's 40.
Yeah, we go to the over 40 league every Tuesday. So we know
what 40
LeBron
actually looks like.
An amazing job.
Yeah, we know what over 40 look like. Imagine LeBron will have 700 points in the 40 and over league.
And those that are watching, you know what the over 40 league looks like.
Yes.
So
yes.
LeBron is doing an amazing job thinking about it that way.
Yes. We go to the 40 and over league every Tuesday, and I'm not even exaggerating. He will have 700 points and average 396 points in the over 40 league.
what you want, nigga. Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.